This one's a very serious video. It's about the 9 things that parents should know of kids with disabilities that receive home applied behavior analysis programming. All right, the reason I made this video is because if you're a parent of a child with a disability, I really feel you. Some of the things that I've gone through in the past 9.5 years, I was not a parent of a child with severe autism until 9.5 years ago. Now I'm a stepdad. And I just need to explain to you that a lot of the that I thought I knew went out the window when it came to behavior analysis in the home. And I want you to know that these past 2 weeks for myself and Marlene have been probably the most difficult 2 weeks we've ever had in our life. I mean, really dark moments with my son where he's having multiple seizures per day. He broke down the back sliding door in our home. He's been rushed to the hospital multiple times, very aggressive. And the shit that people say in the community, they're just nasty. I mean, someone telling my son to shut up and people just staring and then not doing anything, not trying to help. So I just want to say I'm not in your shoes because every situation is different, but I want to tell you how much I feel you. So the first thing you should know out of these 9 factors is that there's no judgment here. If we're the ones providing your home ABA services, I just need you to know, no judgment. With all those things I just mentioned to you, I have extreme compassion for the challenges you go through day to day. Sometimes just getting through the day is difficult enough. And the reason I mention this, because it's probably the first time in the last 20 years of my life that I felt totally helpless. Where, you know, I thought maybe because I'm the CEO of a company that serves learners with disabilities and uses behavior analysis for entrepreneurship and for kids with disabilities and everywhere, I just thought that I'd be able to have some influence over getting people to respond to me. We can't get people to respond to emails. We can't sometimes get people to respond to phone calls, and it was just a feeling of helplessness. So I gotta tell you, I know that feeling. And with someone that has the resources that I have and Marlene, I can't imagine how hard it is for you. So that you need to know. The second thing, my fellow family members and parents, I want to let you know is I understand behavior analysis, implementing behavior intervention plans is freaking stressful. I mean, to try to change behavior and then be told by someone that you're doing something wrong you've been doing for years, it's hard. It's even hard emotionally. It's happened to me. I want to let you know when we have had services in my home, there's times that the person shows up and we're just drained and we just want a break. And I just want to let you know, I understand that feeling when people come into your home and it's invasive and, you know, just an intervention in itself produces just an extreme amount of stress on you and your family and siblings. The third thing, this is maybe idiosyncratic to our company at BDA, but when we're providing home services, I just want to be totally transparent and straight with you. We're not going to be able to provide all the hours that your son or daughter may be authorized for in the very beginning. I just want to keep it real with you. Finding behavior technicians and board certified behavior analysts to work in homes, although we've really done that with 500 or 600 employees, we still struggle sometimes getting the right match with the person with the right skill set to serve your son or daughter. If any ABA provider's telling you, yeah, we're going to provide all the hours right away, they're full of shit for the most part. I want to let you know that we try to make sure we match a person with the best skill set to match your son or daughter's needs, and doing that sometimes takes time. And staffing is no easy thing, so I just want you to know that it can take sometimes weeks and weeks until we have the full amount of hours that your son or daughter needs. If I didn't tell you the truth there, I feel very guilty. The fourth thing you should know that when we first come into the home, usually you'd be a board certified behavior analyst, you're going to wonder why we're not paying much attention to your son or daughter. It's because initially we need to connect with you as the parent. We need to find out what your wishes are. What are your priorities? We don't just want to try to force behavior analysis into the situation. We need to know what's important to you. And at the same time, as we're speaking with you, asking questions, we also like to watch your son or daughter and see how they're behaving, because it's called a divided attention condition. We like to watch what's going on with them to see how your son or daughter acts as we're taking attention away from them. It's called divided attention. The fifth thing that you need to know and if you didn't know this, you'd wonder what the hell we're doing. You're going to see that we're going to be taking baseline data. The purpose of the baseline data is just see how your son or daughter, how they behave without interaction from us. Because we just want to watch and look at the natural conditions. That way we can see what's happening before the behavior, after the behavior, and try to just kind of be a fly on the wall. Because you're going to wonder why we're doing nothing, but it's on purpose, and it's for data collection, and it's to see how they're acting under normal circumstances. The sixth critical factor to know when we implement an ABA program in your home is you're going to see us do what we call pairing, where the therapist will be trying to pair our presence with your son or daughter's or your learner's preferred reinforcer. So you're gonna say to yourself, well, of course he's being great. You're giving him everything he wants. But our goal in the very beginning is to pair our presence with just positive experiences. That way we have some influence and we can later place demands on him or her. So that pairing process is, to you, it's going to appear as though we're sitting around doing nothing and we're giving him everything he wants, or she. But just know that there's a scientific procedure that we're implementing. The seventh factor you need to know is that we're trying to assess the function of your son or daughter's behavior. There are 4 functions. And that's the most important thing we have to get down to, because once we understand the reason or the function for any behavioral issues, then we can figure out how to treat the behaviors appropriately, including skill acquisition. So I want you to know that when we begin an intervention that is function-based, you're going to realize that, and I struggle with this in my own home. I'm not real good at implementing behavior interventions in my own home, and it's because, you know, all my love and emotions get involved, and I realize I'm not that good at it, but I'm better at it with other people's kids. So what I want to explain to you is that implementing a behavior intervention is often totally against your instincts, especially as a parent, because often if a child's crying and upset, we want to nurture them, we want to provide them with things. And what you'll find is that if we have the appropriate function-based intervention, there's often going to be an extinction component in it. In the extinction component, we're suddenly not giving them reinforcement for problem behaviors. And what happens is it's against every fiber in your being as a parent to not just want to give in. So I want you to know that the majority of behavior analytic principles and the application to interventions are usually against your instinct. This is the 8th one, so I'm going on camera to the world on this, and I may get in trouble with the funding sources, but I don't give a because it's what you need. Every parent needs a little bit of a break. So I know that the biggest reinforcer for myself and Marlene is just getting a couple seconds of a break. So I want you to know that we understand the value of not dominating every minute of your time. In other words, if you're taking small steps to implement the intervention, what we'd love to do is give you a few minutes of a break, a little bit of respite. That's not the purpose of active treatment, and the funding sources will say no, but I'm looking at it from a behavior analytics standpoint. If we can have you implement the intervention fresh, sharp, and ready because you got a little bit of a break, we're gonna do it. The last thing you need to know, number 9, with the home ABA intervention, just know that our goal is to fade our presence out, because it would totally be irresponsible to just continue endlessly, because we're here to try to teach you to fish instead of fish for you. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's truly what we're trying to do. We're trying to provide you and arm you with all the principles so that way they generalize to you when we slowly fade our presence out. So our goal is to fade out, and then if you need us, give us a call. Look, we're 100% committed and we're all in for your son or daughter. Thank you.